Greetings, everyone. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to another episode of The Professor's Picks alongside the man himself, Mr. Ken Golden.
Here I
Hey,
am.
Ridge, what's going on?
Yep. Dealing with the rain.
Lots of it. We had snow here this morning too.
Really?
Yeah, we had
That
like
bad?
maybe it was kind of like a wet, slushy covering over everything when I got up this morning. It's all gone now, but yeah, I was like, oh, there we go, that white stuff again.
Yeah, it's like in the upper 40s, low 50s here, but man, it's been windy.
Yeah, very windy. Yeah, yeah.
So I think we're supposed to have a nice weekend. So
We'll see. No rain, and then I think what next Tuesday in the mid 60s, mid upper 60s.
I think they're talking about 70 down here.
Wow,
It's kind of funny. Geographically, we're not that far away,
no, no.
but yeah, there's big differences, especially along the coast.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, for sure.
it's like, we watch it like in New Jersey, you get like west of Trenton in and eastern parts of Pennsylvania, very different weather than what we get. They get they'll get hammered with snow and we just get rain, or we get nothing.
That's the same here. I mean, there are a lot of times, like Eric Porter, who's, about 2 hours north of me. There are a lot of times we have completely different weather. You would think
Yeah,
it's part of the same stream, but nope.
he's putting up pictures of snow, and I'm like,
It's like snow. Yeah. He's like, we got a foot of snow. I'm like, yeah, it rained a little here. That's it.
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
It's crazy.
well, we got some stuff this week. It's not a heavy week,
Okay.
so I'll have some cool news at the very end. Say for the end.
Sounds good.
So I'm going to get the restocks out of the way. There's no pre-orders this week. After the psychotic waltz last week, that was, I gotta say, please. Oh, this is a request to anybody that's pre-ordering psychotic waltz. Please look at the dates because there's 5 releases and they come out on 2 different street dates. So it's okay if you want to order 2 of the titles at street on the same day. Don't mix and match because you're going to be disappointed because you're not going to see them until the middle of July. So separate them out. All right, so I'm going to take care of the restocks first. First thing we got back in a couple of vinyl titles that went very quickly. Uh, why isn't this showing? I don't know. Let's see. If they don't show, I'm gonna be very pissed, Pete. Let me.
Sometimes close up the app and then reopen it again. That happened to me once before too.
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna close it completely. I'm gonna reopen it. I try so hard to look professional when I do this. I really do.
Sometimes it's not in the cards, Ken.
Let's see. No. So we may be going without visual aids this time. Um,
Trying to decipher too if your screen has switched, and I don't think it has.
well,
Usually,
it's showing that Prezi was open,
yeah.
and I am opening. It's showing all the slides. This is only a preview. Click on open, and I'm clicking on them, and absolutely nothing is happening. So we're going to go without visual aids. How's that?
Okay.
Restocks from France, Alpha Centauri, and then Arco Iris, the Argentinian jazz rock prog thing. Thank you for the assistance. I have the vinyl is back in stock now, and the CD is imminent. The restock of the CD will be here any day. We got back in the Chronicles of Father Robin, Songs and Tales of Era, Book 3, the CD. That just keeps selling. Yeah, it keeps selling. We keep selling out. We keep restocking, and the label seems to be out of the first 2 parts. So if you're wondering why we don't have 1 and 2, they're not around. Another restock. I'm clicking on these like something's going to show. Deep Purple, Graz, 1975. That went fast, and we also have that Copenhagen. Was it 72? I think it is.
Yeah,
it's also a good one. So
that's really good, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. So we should jump on that. Genesis selling England in Montreal. That one's back.
That's really good.
One that came and went in a heartbeat. I know you got one. Jimi Hendrix in Traffic, the legendary sessions. We restocked Mr. Bison, Echoes from the Universe. This really is bugging me that this Prezi thing is failing us. Great cover. Huh?
I'll help you out when I can.
All right, no, I appreciate it. Then this one, man, we went through 20 of these in a heartbeat. The Michael Schenker Group, Is It Loud Enough? The box set. And we got that back. I was kind of shocked, really.
No,
Not that they're not great records, it's just the level of interest. And
yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta love Schenker. He's
Yeah.
the man.
And we also got back in Vicinity 8, the Norwegian prog metal.
So I've been told by a few people that it's actually, because I said the same thing, it's actually not 8, it's V3. It's the third album. So
Vicinity 3.
yeah, which is kind of strange, because
I would talk to the label about that.
yeah, I thought the same thing. I'm like, well, it's the third album. Why the hell are they calling it 8? And people are like, well, it's kind of a little playful thing. It's actually V for Victory 3, third album V3. I'm like, oh, okay.
How about putting a hyphen in there?
Yeah, well, yeah, that would make perfect sense, right?
All right, let's get to the new stuff. So the new stuff, again, apologies, you can't see any of this stuff, but we're getting a new one in from Alterum of War and Flames. They're an Italian female-fronted power metal band. Nicoletta Rossellini, she used to be the singer. I think she used to be the singer in 2 bands, Calidia and Walk in Darkness. I don't know if she's still involved with those bands, but if you're like a Nightwish fan, that kind of thing, it's right up your alley. And I personally, man, that used to be like my bread and butter. I used to sell so much, and I released Delane. I did 3 albums with Delane, and of course, in the prog world, I did White Willow, and I'm going to be doing a new White Willow, and I'm an advocate for female vocalists. I'll support them as I can, but I got to tell you, on the metal side, I'm really kind of burning out personally.
There's just so many of them. Yeah.
And people keep buying them, and that's okay. We got them. So this one seems to be a little bit more towards the power side, as opposed to like that gothic poppy side, like a Delane or Within Temptation. It's more towards Nightwish. Next one, which I haven't heard the whole thing. I don't know if you have gotten a promo of this yet. The Cosmic Dead, Infinite Peaks. You know the band? They're on Heavy Psych Sounds.
I haven't gotten it, but I know who you're talking about.
So the Cosmic Dead, they're a really good band. I used to sell their CDs years and years ago. They were on this weird little English label, tiny label, where they used to put together very peculiar packaging for their discs, and hand pressed envelopes and things. Really odd stuff. And they're now with Heavy Psych Sounds. It's just 2 sidelong tracks, very, very heavy space rock, all instrumental. They have a new lineup. One of the guys in the band, one of the lead players, playing violin, which is a switch. There's great spacey, whacked out keyboards, guitar. Really, they were a great band. They're from Glasgow, which is kind of
What's the name of the new one?
Infinite Peaks. And because it's just sidelong tracks, they've just put out like little excerpts from that. You can watch it on YouTube. But this is not like Ozric Tentacles kind of stuff. This is more to almost like a little bit. Yeah, that's it. That's the album. And,
that's an awesome album cover.
Yeah, it is. I wish I could show it to you, but and anyway, they're always a good band. I lost touch with them, but Heavy Psych Sounds is like the perfect home for them. So maybe they'll get a little more attention.
And you have that in stock already?
I have, yeah. I have. Next thing, this is actually a recycle. I haven't had this for years, and we have a new audience now with this program, so I figured I'll restock it, reintroduce it. Virgil Denat, Ruination. You have this one?
No.
So, Virgil Denat, the great drummer. This is an album he did in 2018, and it's got like a who's who lineup. It's got Chris Clark playing keyboards. He was in his part of his touring band. Chris Clark, you may have seen him play with
I do have that one. Sorry. That's the
Yeah.
title slipped me. But yes, I got that's very good.
Yeah, Chris Clark playing keyboards. He's got a lot of guests, special guests. He's got Julian Lage on guitar, Marcos Fogli, Matteo Mancuso, Eric's favorite, is there. Keyboards got Steve Hunt, who played with Alan Holdsworth, and also Alex Argento. So it's what you expect. Good, really good instrumental. You know, I guess you would call what Virgil was doing fusion.
High energy fusion with a touch of kind of metallic prog, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, some of these things like
it's not metal, but it's like it's not full on.
right. It's heavy. Some of these we've talked about in the past. Some of these bands, they people call them fusion. They're not fusion. They're just instrumental rock bands. But Virgil has a pedigree. He's played with fusion guys. He's played with some serious people.
Yeah, I
So
would say that album is kind of like it's not quite Planet X. It's a little jazzier than Planet X, sort
yeah,
of.
yeah.
Like Planet X is definitely more
To me,
prog. It's
Planet
hard to
X is
describe Planet X, right? They're so awesome at what they do, but
to me, the Planet X, they're like an instrumental prog rock band.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
I would not call them a fusion band. So
I think
like,
Virgil's album is more closer to what we would think of as
yeah, what
fusion.
you would traditionally think of. Yeah, and it's got a heavy component to it.
Yeah.
One that I was okay. So also in one that I was very surprised at the interest, and I'm happy to accommodate. Again, I keep clicking on it like it's going to happen. Emerson, Lake and Powell, the complete collection, 4 CD. So you get the album remastered with bonus tracks. You get the Sprockets Sessions, which is supposed to be basically the rehearsals for the tour, and then you get the live show. And having seen the band a couple of times, they were pretty great. So Cozy was good.
I love Cozy.
Next one, I don't know. You may have gotten this one. I don't know if you're getting ready to review it. The new one from Lucifer Was.
Yeah, I have it here.
So can you hold it up? You have it there?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
It's got a cool
Sorry,
cover.
Ken.
No, I'm sorry, Nate. No, it's good. It's got a cool cover. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
So Norwegian band that's been around quite a while. They decided to do this album singing in Norwegian, but it's still pretty cool. They're like a heavy prog rock band.
Yeah, it's like heavy prog, Jethro Tull, riffy. So, I mean, their early stuff was weird because it had like these big, like Sabbathy riffs and flute and mellotron and
Yeah,
it's
there
like
is, and there is Mellotron on the album. And you know who they remind me of a little bit? Remember at Tretiriga Kriget, the Swedish band?
Yeah.
They're a little bit in that, like a hard rock band that has this really strong progressive element to their music.
Yep.
And so it's sort of from that school. So it's definitely like retro. If you even wanted to throw around a word like Uriah Heep, 2 words, Uriah Heep. I don't think you'd be that far off. So it's good stuff. Always good quality stuff. Next one, I was forced into bringing this in. Luz de Riata, Rizoma. Yeah. Louis Nasser he was gonna send out like the Mexican drug cartel after me.
There he is.
There he is. There he is. So,
a really old picture because he hasn't had long hair like that in quite some time. That's a really old picture.
Yeah. So
I will say it's a pretty good album.
It is a good album. I haven't spent a lot of time with it, but it's good. Kind of on the dark side.
Yeah, there's some dark kind of King Crimson-ish type of stuff going on this album.
Yeah.
Which I can totally get down with.
Yep. Okay. Nectar Recycled 5 CD box set. You get the original mix. You get the remix because there were two mixes at the time, and I think the U.S. and the German mixes are different if I'm not mistaken. And it has two unreleased live shows, one of which was the Calderon. I don't remember. I don't have my notes in front of me, but you know, I, Recycled may be my favorite Nectar album.
Really? Wow.
I mean, it's
Weird
more
how there was two mixes of that too, because you remember Remember the Future had the same issue, right? Do you remember that first
oh,
Belafonte CD issue had the one mix and then they corrected it on a later one? Yeah.
the story. So the story, I don't know if you know the story of Remember the Future, since we're talking about Nectar. So the story is there was a quad mix of Remember the Future and a stereo mix. And when Belafonte put it out on CD for the first time, they used the wrong tapes. They used the quad mix. So Roy Brighton and everything that was
His
mixed
guitar was way low.
because it was bleeding from the rear channels. So that's why. So then when they remastered it years later, I think it might have even been Esoteric. I'm not sure. It might have been the first
Might
one.
be.
I remember they did an SACD of it early on, and then Belafonte did it a CD. Then they used the actual stereo master tapes to correct it. But if you
I
were
think
like,
I still have like two or three different versions of that. And
yeah,
I remember like when I heard the correct version, I was like, oh, that's the way that's supposed to sound because I never had it on vinyl. But that
yeah,
original CD pressing is just like it's got like no balls to it whatsoever. And
yeah,
you hear like Roy doing all this cool guitar work, and he's so buried in the mix. It's just like what happened here?
yeah,
And then
because
when
he
you hear it
was,
the way it's supposed to be, like, oh, okay, that's
yeah,
pretty damn
that's
great.
the way I remember it. You know, yeah. Well, recycle that was not, recycle that wasn't that wasn't the issue. So recycle, it's just there was an alternate mix that got used, and but I like that album. Larry Fast is all over it.
Yeah, he
Uh,
is.
it was just a little more. I wouldn't say commercial. It wasn't commercial. I mean, it was
Yeah,
actually just
shorter songs, just a little more snappy and just
a
yeah,
little more refined. But as proggy as you
yeah.
can get. I like that album. Next one, this is a cheapie, and we have stock on, and I don't know if we'll be able to restock it. It's by an Israeli band called The Platina, and the name of the CD is The Girl with the Flaxen Hair. And they were a jazz rock ensemble from the early 70s, early to mid 70s. I think some version of the band lingered on maybe into the 2000s. I'm not sure. They originally were a backing band to Arik Einstein, who was a Israeli pop folk, I wouldn't really call him prog singer, and they they put out some albums, really good jazz rock, a lot of flute, and this is an archival release that came in on Mio Records a number of years ago, and it's all live stuff. It's great. It's really great. I mean, nice long tracks. They do I think a jazz interpretation of, I think it's a Debussy piece, and it's really cool. Again, if you like flute in your jazz rock, it's good and it's cheap. I think we got them for like $8, something like that. So, and they're selling, so you should jump on that. Uh Next band is Run, French band, RHUN. It's called Tozos. Very much in that Zool Magma, quirky, weird school. Uh, Good heavy stuff, good heavy prog, dark, real dark. Prog metal band called Unprocessed, German band. You know these guys? It's
Yeah.
called An Everything in Between. Two of the guys from Polyphia guest on it, and it's being compared, pardon me, being compared to Polyphia, kind of like a tech metal. Vocals are kind of coarse and clean vocals. Uh, the kids call it metalcore. What does metalcore mean? You know?
Metalcore was, I mean, that's something you don't hear too much anymore, but metalcore is like a blend of heavy metal and hardcore. Are those kind of like screamo bands and whatnot that.
I'm not hearing like the hardcore element, but I definitely hear like the technical element to it. And again, clean and coarse vocals.
Like Shadows Fall and Every Time I Die or As I Lay Dying and all those type of bands. Those are all metalcore bands. So they kind of came from the take like the Gothenburg school of melodic Swedish death metal and mix it
In
with
Flames.
American hardcore and blend it together. So you got these like, fast metal songs with these kind of growling vocals and the clean vocals. And yeah, it was
Well,
really popular in the early 2000s, early mid 2000s.
well, it's funny because they were called a prog metal band, progressive metal band. So that's the key words for me. I zero in on them, then I bring in copies, and it ain't your father's prog metal. It's not the prog metal like the stuff that I've been releasing all these
Right.
years on Circus Maximus. It's not. So it's much much more aggressive, but there is some really serious playing on these guys. Anyway, the band's called Unprocessed. I believe it's their second or third album, and it's called Then Everything in Between. And it's got a really cool cover, but you'll see it on the website right after you're done watching the video.
That's right.
Yeah. The last new CD that we have for the week is I'm really excited about. Another live gray area Zappa release, live in Australia, 1973, double CD, fantastic quality. It was either a genuine radio broadcast or a soundboard, but the sound is great. It's the Overnight Sensation Band. So you got Zappa, you got the Ian and Ruth Underwood, Ralph Humphrey, George Duke, you got the Fowler brothers, Sal Marquez, and Jean-Luc Ponty. So
Wow.
yeah, and the quality is spot on, really really good. And the vinyl is kind of easy. I had mentioned the Cosmic Dead, as I still keep clicking. We have that. People had inquired about Mr. Bison, Echoes from the Universe on vinyl, so we brought in some copies of that. And then Esoteric just remastered two Van de Graaff generated titles on vinyl. They did Still Life and they did Vital, 2 LP. I mean, at that point they were called Van de Graaff. They were
Yeah,
no
crap,
longer
yeah, yeah.
generator.
Still
And
Life is great though. Yeah, Still Life is
oh
so.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Vital was I thought, a very different sounding band.
Yeah, not a big fan.
Yeah. So, and that's what we have for this week. So I just wanted to give a little bit of a tease for next week. So next week, I don't know what will hold as far as new releases. There's always something, but we worked out a deal with a now deceased, defunct prog metal label, and we are bringing in a massive amount of overstocks that we're going to be blowing out. So we're going to probably have close to 50 titles, and they're all going to be very cheap, $5-6. There could be some box sets in there, and let you guys ponder who it is, what it is. But there's going to be some really good titles in there. We'll have deep inventory, and we'll set up a special section on the site, and it'll probably take me like all week to get everything up there. So it'll be one of those things where just start hitting it and keep looking, and it'll keep growing. And there's going to be there'll be a lot of bands you've never heard of, and they're going to be cheap, so you should check them out. And there's going to be a lot of bands that you do know, and they're going to be cheap, and you should check them out. And that'll be next week. But for this week, yeah, what we got is what we got.
Sounds good. It's my phone. Never mind, my phone is ringing. Anyway, so yeah, everybody's gonna be guessing. What could that label be? I wonder.
Yeah,
I wonder.
yeah. We're trying to figure out where we're going to put it all. So that's another reason why you guys got to buy it, because we're going to run out of room.
Cool. Sounds good. Lots to look forward to. So we'll have the full list of everything that you didn't see today. I showed you a
Yeah.
couple things, but that'll all be pinned at the top of the comment section down below, so you guys can go and copy and paste. Make sure you don't miss actually seeing anything on the website, lasercd.com, as soon as you get off this video, right?
Yep.
So Ken, about what, 4 p.m. today, you'll start to see all sorts of activity, right?
I would think it seems to be the MO.
Okay.
So,
Sounds good. So tune in next week for another episode of Professor's Picks for next week's haul, and visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube all together. all the damn time. Stay tuned for 4 Fusion Friday coming up tonight. Live albums tonight. Do not miss this episode. We've got 4 ridiculously good albums tonight that we're talking about. And what else we got coming up this weekend? We've got UK Connection tomorrow. We'll be doing our favorite, least favorite albums from Blackfoot. And then Sunday, ranking the albums. We're doing something a little different this Sunday. Grant, Arthur, and I will be ranking the albums of Bread. So that's coming up on Sunday. And then, of course, in the Prague seat on Tuesday for a very fun episode about a very controversial album, Tales from Topographic Oceans. Yes. So stay tuned for that and more. For Ken Golden, I am Pete Pardo. Thanks for watching us here on the Press Picks on Sea of Tranquility. Have a good weekend, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.